Have you ever encountered a particular booner throughout your bow season, but ultimately did not get a chance at him until rifle season? I'm Taylor Drury, and this is another throwback edition of DoD TV.
This segment of DoD TV is brought to you by Leupold. Be relentless.
Former DoD teammates Eric Hale and Chris Ward were some of the best story producers Drury Outdoors has ever seen. And years ago in Kansas, the two would find themselves on a cat and dog match with a giant Kansas monster. Let's team up with the two and see if they can lay their hands on some gross boon and Crockett bone.
Here we are. It's our favorite time of year. We're heading out to our favorite spot in this country, and that's Kansas.
You know, when we leave our homes in Virginia, we leave a small, close-knit community. Everybody knows their neighbors. And we drive all the way out to Kansas, and we end up in the same type of atmosphere. It's just like going back home.
We just rolled in. Have no idea what we got on these farms this year, but I know we got something big. Landowner says in the last 5 to 7 days he's seen a couple really, really good deer. So if he says they're good, they're really good.
This is the spot. I just put our wildlife eyes out. At their stand set where I killed mine last year. And the reason we put this stand here is because this is a travel corridor between feeding and bedding behind us. So hopefully we can catch one, in the next few days, heading to or fro. It was good to me last year.
Well, needless to say, I've had a great year for seeing deer, but a horrible year for connecting on deer. It was the first morning. It was an hour and a half into the hunt, and I thought, finally, my luck has changed.
I was just in mid-draw, and I didn't see this doe, and she must have busted me. And they boogered out of here. He didn't seem to be really scared, but he was scared enough to leave, so.
After that encounter, we figured out, hey, well, it's just the first day, no need to panic, and we went ahead and went and checked our wildlife eyes, and man, it's the same story as last year. Were we ever blown away?
Oh my, that's morning. Oh, he's killable.
Chris is up to bat first, so we'll try him with a bow. It's gonna be tough though, because other than the super frontal, we don't have anything set up for a bow, so I don't know what we'll do.
Well, based on what the wildlife eye was showing and what we had figured out, we kind of knew where this big buck was living. And I wanted to go try it on these beans, but there was no sets already hung, so we decided we were gonna go in there and put our mare step blind up. Well, the temperature had skyrocketed into the 70s. We set that night, and all we saw were some does and one 2.5-year-old 8-pointer. Talk about some tense moments. That deer was walking across the field, biggest deer I'd ever seen, and there came a point where I actually thought, I'm gonna get this done.
Well, that deer gets over, he gets about 75 yards. I just quit filming him because I didn't want to blow it. I figured for sure that this deer was gonna come straight to the blind, and sure enough, he did. Unfortunately, when he got to the corner of the blind, he got just a little whiff of us, and man, he boogered out.
A buck of that caliber on the ground with a bow, it would have been a dream come true.
I felt really bad for Chris. It was a sight to see that deer, and we did everything right. We put the ground blind out, we put it in the right place, and we almost pulled it off, but hey, it's only day 3, so who knows what'll happen next. Ice. It's not raining. I don't know if I'm moving this stuff or not. That's the mare step blind where Chris had to encounter that giant 2 nights ago, so we're on this side tonight. Well, we got deer on the front side in standing beans. And all I know is Chris gets my attention and look through the back of the shooting house, and man, out there in the corner of the field is a sight that I'm never gonna forget.
Yeah. Okay, he's done. Yeah, man, give me some. That is a giant right there.
Oh boy.
I tell you what, Kansas has been really good to me, and it just gave me the gift of all gifts right there. I have hunted 2 days this year.
And you got 2 deer. I'm glad everything's working out for you, buddy.
What a magnificent, magnificent whitetail here on our Kansas farm. At least 5.5, if not 6.5, and he's just, he's a monster, you know? He's got long G2s are 12 inches. He's got a 27.5-inch beam on this side, 26.5 on that one, and he's just a monster. I mean, it's the best deer of my life, and I tell you what, it's really humbling to be sitting behind a giant like this. He's a really special deer, and he's just capped off another wonderful Kansas deer season.
Ever wonder what goes on inside the brain of a whitetail buck that gets him up and on the move? Well, we've cracked that code and are delivering it to you in the DeerCast app, a revolution in deer movement forecasting. Available now for iOS and Android. Get ahead of your game with DeerCast.
We're adding new videos every week, so make sure to click that subscribe button and check out all of our amazing content. This episode of DoD TV was brought to you by Mossy Oak.